Well,
6 o'clock.
you ready, Bob, for us?
What? All set.
You're all set? And what's, get his name? You want him closer?
Well, actually, I would
Want to put him
I
back?
want to move the flag so you can see, because
Where would you like him
Gavin
positioned?
signs the pledge. So he's going to
Oh,
sign the pledge.
let's,
So I'd like you to be able to see him.
let's put the flag up there and turn him around to face the camera then.
Okay.
That'd be the way to do it.
Awesome.
What's the name?
Gavin?
What's the last
Morton?
name?
Has he-
Morton.
Is he hearing impaired?
Gavin.
Did you want him to say it out loud while he's doing it?
Come closer. Closer?
There we go.
Come toward me. Can he,
Gavin, buddy, hey, come that way a little bit.
can he hear? I don't, I mean,
Yeah.
oh, I thought, I don't want to offend him in any way. My son is hearing impaired, because he didn't use a helmet skateboarding.
Oh.
Yeah, he almost died. Okay, so your name is
Gavin.
Gavin.
Gavin? Okay, you're all set? Tell me when you're ready. You start the pledge. Gavin, a little more. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Get him right in the middle.
Right there.
Right there.
Now you're on
Perfect.
camera.
TV.
Now you're on
Alright.
camera. Go ahead.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you,
Very good.
Can you show me that one side? Does this mean stand?
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
And where's I stand? What's that?
Putting him on the spot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
You're gonna do it in order.
You gotta do it. No, I'm sorry.
For which it stands, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. I'll try to remember that one.
One nation, under God, indivisible.
Oh, very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
We all got a lesson. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
He just taught us
Be fine.
something
I
new.
love to evolve and improve.
Oh, Jan is here.
Wow.
You ready to go? That was it.
Ah.
That was virtually painless. You're getting the names of people coming.
Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
I just under it, because they're
Don't worry about the
leaving.
other gentleman. He was here last week.
Yeah, I have it
You have his name?
at home.
Well, he was the gentleman back there.
Yeah.
Remember?
All right, let's go.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
I have it at home.
the gentleman in the blue, we forgot your name. You want to give it again, please?
Carter Terry.
Oh, right. That's right. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any comments, Carter?
I don't know. This is your
Jan, you're not in the audience, though. You have any comments? John, you're in the audience. You all set?
Not
Bob, you got anything? Okay, moving on. The minutes are 1/9/19.
I will make a motion to approve the public minutes of January 9th. Minor correction.
I have a major correction.
Oh, you have a major one. Okay.
Major.
With corrections.
Yeah, I'll second that. Go to page 3, old business, under Doug, go down, it says Doug signs up to be a committee member. That was for the candidates to run for office, was, I think, January 23rd. Wasn't it 2019, the January?
To February 1st, yes.
The
So
clerk-
to be,
For candidates to,
Not committee member.
yeah,
Right.
that's what it was, yeah. And that could have been my fault, not your, right here. I'm sorry, it's on this page here, page 3.
oh, I missed that one. Oof.
You want give me that, and I'll give you this. Is that easy? There you go.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, and that probably could have been my fault, nobody else. Did I have Peg, what you said?
Aye.
Should be candidate.
Aye.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, I probably, aye. Melissa?
Aye.
Okay, yeah, passes. Okay, moving on to, I think we got two,
Did you get 2 of these then?
Yes.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
Thanks, yeah.
Oh, that's 2 different ones?
I will make a motion to approve the non-public on Wednesday, January 9th. I do not believe there were any corrections.
Now, is that page 5, because we got a page
Yes.
6? Okay.
Page 6 is the same.
No.
Oh, this is a second non-public, okay.
Okay, did you have a second for that? I'll second it if you don't.
I'll second.
Okay,
Not me, you.
Paul.
Yep.
Okay, Paul seconds. Paul?
Aye.
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 Okay.
And I will make a motion to approve page 6 of the non-public meeting minutes of January 9th.
Second.
Paul. Okay, no corrections, you said?
I don't believe there were any corrections.
Okay, I read that. Melissa?
Aye.
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 Did Paul say aye?
Aye.
Oh, sorry.
Aye.
Okay. Superintendent's report?
Thank you. One of the things for people to be aware of is the current bills that are being taken a look at. One of them today we discussed with the administration, among the administration and the chair and the co-chair of the school board is the one that they're looking at, and Paul Steer will like this one, beginning school at the end of the vacation. That's been a long thing that you've,
Day after Labor Day.
have you had a hand in that or something? when you
It
go
actually
down to
came up at
delegates?
it came up at the delegates meeting too.
So I bet you must have liked that.
No. Well, it's just keeping the power to the boards to pick the day that they want.
Yeah.
Paving my way is what I'm doing.
And also too, I guess that in the news, there's been some things about other schools and the defaults and questioning of how the default is. If you remember, from the very outset, we worked with the committee and Carrier Bob, the chair, Bob, the chair Carrier, and I discussed it with him, and Doug Schutenbeck Hurt went to workshops, and we all did, and we worked with the attorney, and we assured that we were fulfilling the mandates of the default. I think as time evolves itself, it's been a transparent, trying to compute it in a way that we were sure to abide by all the different rules. So therefore, it's been very transparent, and that's why our default is slightly more than our school budget. But we've been sure to go according to the guidelines. It's been very impressive at the student events that I have gone to. I've seen all the sports teams and the sportsmanship of the staff and the students has been very, very good. Actually, one night I was there and Paul Steer reminded me that there was a boys' game, and that was quite impressive.
Good game.
Every one of the boys' sports, and it was so exciting. And there was some nice notes from parents to the coach and the AD in regard to the spirit, and it was very nice. It was very nice to see. And the most important thing of it was the success that the students had.
Done.
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say that for the middle school, the coach is doing an excellent job. Miss Flanagan, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really doing good. She plays all the kids, regardless of their experience and their priors, and she does really good. I mean, there was some doubt from other people, but she's really come through, and I just want to say that she's doing an excellent job as a middle school coach.
Because it was a very fascinating thing, because John, the AD, Shag, had come to me, and we worked very hard trying to find a coach. I said, John, I think I know who you could get, because I just talked to her about softball, and I said, why don't you ask her? Although it's a female, what's the big deal? Pros have females. There's reps. If you saw the football game, Pat's game, the last Pat's game, there was a female rep. So it's what it's all the things beyond the X's and O's, and how you treat kids, how you relate to kids, and how you teach us. And I think the teamwork of it was also good. I also want to say that I've seen the improvement in the 7th and 8th grade girls. All the girls got in. They're working very hard, and you can see how they improved from the very beginning. So,
6 to 8.
yeah, 6, right, and we have a lot of 6 on that team, and also I'd like to commend you also, Melissa Brown, for going out and working with the organization and getting suits for the girls, getting new suits.
No, the suits being donated are for boys and girls,
Yeah,
middle school.
Good.
yeah, 48, right? 52 shirts.
Something along that line, yeah.
48 shorts, yeah. So that's extraordinary. Well, also too, it's been very fascinating.
Long shirts.
I met with a grandparent and a young girl today, and I've met with some other parents, and I've talked to some other students, and this is and all from MES on to the middle and high school. I don't think people realize the amount of time and the relationships and the connections that the staff make as far as the students are concerned. And oftentimes the students that I talk to and the parents and the grandparents aren't the political types of people. They're not my kids or school board kids or the principal's kids. And it's very interesting, and they come from impoverished, tough situations. And the staff really does a lot behind the scenes and stays after school and talks with the kids. And these are kids that sometimes it works out for, sometimes it doesn't work out for. But, over the last couple of years, I've really, and it's right across the board, and sometimes you say, well, does this person really love the kids or go that extra mile or whatever, because they don't smile at you when they see you or whatever. It's been very heartwarming to know that they are spending that time with the kids that nobody knows about. Their parents will probably never contact folks. They're not out there, or their grandparents or whoever the case is. But I just want to let the community know and the board know and the administration know that there's some remarkable stories there, and I'm very proud and I'm very grateful that we have them. Also, too, going back to the default, I think that when you look at the school budget, I know that the principals are working, have shown, and Mr. Sabina will talk tonight. I don't want to take his thing away, but there's 277 kids at MES. But over the last 2 or 3 years, we have been cutting staff, and we've given back to the town toward the taxes an extraordinary amount of money. But that is because we've cut staff, and our student enrollment has increased. So I think that as we get into the budget and we look at things, there comes to a point where, like at MES, we have 20 more students and we have one less, right?
Yeah.
We have at least one less. And depending how you look at it, it could be 2. But the point being is we're doing more as far as less staff, and that comes with as far as the whole team is concerned. So I'll leave the MES and the nude, I'll leave John and Jan with some work as far as their report stuff.
But may I be able to say something on that issue? I know what you're saying, and it is true, but if we have to increase staff at MES, we'll have to do it. But we can't have classes where we have less than 10 kids in the classroom, and we just can't. The program just, it's not good to do that. Pay somebody all the money that we pay them. We got to have the students in the class in order to do it. Go ahead.
In terms of talking about the sports and some of the teachers getting really involved, I'd like to say a nice shout out to Leanne, who did the coach for the girls. There was a young lady who, in the beginning of the season, was failing everything, and we allowed her to come to practice, and she actually brought up all of her failing grades to passing grades to be able to play, and did so on her own with a little bit of encouragement, and Leanne really took that time to encourage her, and that was, to see a child that was failing so bad, to be able to bring everything up was pretty amazing to watch, and watch her self-esteem. And I'd like to see more teachers coming out as coaches to help, because they know these students, you know, and I'd like to see more of that, because they can make a big difference.
Into, you know, I was in the office today. I was in one of the rooms, and our baseball coach, our head coach, and Rob Qua, who's doing the middle school team, they came in. I said, you know, I want to thank you both. I said, it's nice to have a sports program where we have two in-house folks. I've spoke to this, and I spoke to the board about it, and you know, there's a real importance to that. So I think for the first time since I've been here, I can say we have an entire program with in-house. And I'd like to thank Jan and John Shea, Jan, for going out there and trying to get him psyched to coach. And that is, you know, we're going to continue to try to do that. So.
Moving on. Okay. 5, administration principals report.
Okay, well, the written report that is in your packet is a teacher spotlight. We have some really great new teachers this year that joined us. Mrs. Tebow, our art teacher, great special ed staff, Mrs. Lenoy in first grade, and Mr. Lefko in fourth grade. So I will be highlighting them as we go through the month, give them a chance to settle in, and they get to report to me how their classes are going. So that's what's in the report. Mrs. Tebow has been a great addition, and the public has gotten to see her through the Holiday Arts Festival, and got to meet her, and she spoke very eloquently at the festival, which is really great. But what I do have in addition is 2 informational items of things that have been coming up lately, like with the budget committee and so forth. This is our computer, this is the laptop replacements for teachers. So I'll just give you this copy of that to show you. This is our 3-year plan that we developed. This was the first year that we implemented, our second year. Thank you. So I don't have names on it. I do have it with names. I can give you that as well.
I have a question for you, John.
Yes.
On a replacement for a computer for teacher, how long does a teacher keep a computer before it's replaced?
3 to 5 years. So this, we had not replaced laptops. I think my first year there we didn't replace the laptops, and it hadn't for a couple of years. So then this was, they were getting to the point where they were starting to break, so we needed to replace them. So Brandon and I went through these, and based on the age of the computers and how they were working, you know, that's how we developed who would get it the first year, the second year, and the third year. So.
And you said you had a list with the names?
Yes.
So we're still using 2007 computers?
Just the same thing.
7? No.
It says
Oh,
07.
some of them right here. Yeah.
And the newer ones, some of the newest ones are 2012.
Mm-hmm. So these are the computers. This is what they had when we developed the plan.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't know what they have right
Some of
now.
them might have been updated.
So
since
they've
then,
been
okay.
updated, but this is what we used
Okay.
as a basis to decide why, why they need to be replaced and who would get them. So it's the same document. I had taken the names out. Becky Innocent. And the red line are like new teachers, because if you see that what I did was, like the teacher is now gone, and I just replaced it with the name, and then some of them were, there were special ed computers and different things like that, just in case if we couldn't replace them all, if we could replace through different funds, but we're all doing it through the same fund, so.
Okay.
And the other piece of information I brought was our enrollment. As Earl said, our enrollment is up. And one of the things we talked about when we were looking at the default budget, and with the default budget is the same for, we developed the budget based on June of 2018, just this past June. We had 255 students. We started the fall with 276 students. And we had some people go and come, and we had 277 students now. Just counting the ones that came in, we would have had a lot more, but we did, it seems like January, right after Christmas, we have, in January and February, we have an influx. People leave and come in. So right now we're at 277, and when we had higher numbers before, like in 2014 and 15, we had 15 staff members. And now we have 14 staff members. I guess at one point there were 3 teachers per grade level. Now we're down to 2 teachers per grade level with the exception of 1 grade. And all the classrooms are over 20 except for 5th grade and 4th grade. 4th grade is a small class. That's where did I say 2nd grade?
Yeah, I was going to say fourth
Second
grade
grade is a
big.
small class. 5th grade, there was a bubble. They were a larger class at one point, but there are particular needs of that particular class that we decided we kept, the teacher with them. Okay, so the smaller numbers have really helped with that particular class. So now we're going to be looking at rearranging teachers for the fall. We haven't really decided exactly what we're going to do yet, but we have to put that one extra teacher down in the lower grades, because if you see it, in kindergarten we have 24 students, and 25 is the max. So we're going to look to making a smaller first grade. Same thing, we had much smaller numbers. We ended up with a few more kids, and we get 1 or 2 more kids. Those classes will be over 25. So their numbers they're not like low class sizes. They're not. The one I put in the budget book, if you look back at your budget books, I gave you the projected enrollment with the state average. And I could get that to you again if you don't have it. But the state, when it says state average, it's not not the minimum standards. It's what the state has on the report card that's online, the school report cards. It tells you what the state average is. And the state average, I think that they had updated was like maybe 16, 17, or 17, 18. It's on that list. So we're above the state average, so we're not below the state average. So we're right in line with what we're doing. So that's where we're at. So I think that it's a good sign that we had 20 more students come in. We have to see where the trend goes, and I mean, it could go up, could go down. It really depends. There's a lot of fluctuation at this time of year, and a lot of people moving in and out, so moving around the state. So we'll just keep an eye on it. If we start going up, what we might need to look at is staffing.
Do we have the room in the building for additional classrooms?
Yes.
How many rooms do you think we got?
How many rooms we have?
We possibly could turn to classrooms.
Well, we have one room that was a classroom that we made. It's a not a special ed room, but we have our OT PT that is in the middle of the classrooms. we had moved them. They were in another part of the building. We moved them all into the first floor classroom. We also have, Mrs. Talbot now has a very large room up on the third floor of, the old wing. So that could be converted into a classroom. And there's also that whole top floor, if we found another place for art, we could have another whole grade level. But that would be the third floor. We'd have to look at the handicap accessibility and so forth. With moving around and so forth, yeah.
How many
We have
rooms?
like another one, definitely 1, 2 classrooms, and
Two
we could
classrooms.
be more creative and come up with a couple more.
About possibly up to 4.
If push comes to shove, we could get it to, well, I gotta figure out where to, definitely 3, possibly 4, depending where I can put art.
Anybody else have any questions?
I do. I'm looking at the difference between, we have MacBooks and HPs.
Yep.
When you're switching them, I know there's a big difference in price between the Mac and the HP. Is there a reason? I'm sure there may be certain classes you need the Macs, or
I don't know what, I'd have to ask Brandon that again. I think it was just, the school was starting to go Mac, but then stopped. So some have, like Mrs. Heichel has a Lenovo book.
Yeah.
She's got a new one. I still have a MacBook, Mac Air. So though there's some people have Mac, some people have the Chromebook. So what we're replacing them with are the Lenovo laptops. So that eventually everybody will have won't have Macs. We won't have Macs in the building anymore.
okay.
Right.
If I remember correctly, I want to say Brandon said that they no longer are even supporting Macs. Is that true?
Who's not supporting it? The Brandon?
Yeah, Brandon and Back Bay.
I think they support ours. You know, if we have any issues with them, I mean, they
Right.
do.
But they're trying to get out of it
They're
because
trying to get
they're-
out of.
yeah.
So I think that when they say not, they're not replacing our Macs.
Right,
They're
right,
replacing them
okay.
with the like I said, the Lenovo's.
Okay.
The Lenovo's last longer than the Macs.
Yeah.
If I could, I mean, I understand this, but when I do my presentation, if you could just let me know what they now have,
But they now have sure.
I would really appreciate
Yeah.
that, and I can just say, okay, we went from a MacBook
Yeah.
07
Yeah.
to Lenovo. I think
Yeah.
that would be very helpful too, that
Sure. I can get that from Brandon.
people can see that we are using the money wisely.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Now, I want to go back to how old did you say this list was?
How old are
That list for what they have. That-
I developed what they had that list.
Because I remember I gave Jan by era, we got a whole bunch of brand new computers that came into MES. And I remember your computer room having a problem because what they did is when they got them, they underrated them. They went to real fast ones. I think they got the 5s and it should have been the 7s. And I think how long have you been here? 3 years?
This is 3 years.
Because I think it was while you were here. So
Yeah, but those were the desktop.
no, I think there was some laptops. No, there were laptops because your person in the computer room got a brand new laptop. And I've got the list because I gave it to Jen by era. So
I guess I'm not sure of the question.
my question is, so this must be an old list. It's not the most recent that was done then.
That's the
No,
original list.
this is the new list. This right here,
Yeah.
this is what the teachers had.
Right
When I
now?
created the list, not necessarily right now.
When was
If
that?
you see, they were replaced, we replaced some already. This was the first year of replacement of laptops. So we've already replaced these right here, the first column. So, like K1, they don't have a MacBook Air anymore, 2012. They have something different. So anybody in the first column, though, there's a different laptops. And the librarian doesn't have an HP ProBook anymore. They have a different computer. They're all the Lenovo's, but I can get those specific. So,
So
this
1, 2, 3,
next
4,
year,
5, 6,
we'll be changing out the MacBook Airs 07,
So everything in the middle column.
Right,
Everything
the
in the
middle
middle
column,
column.
right.
So the one on the way to the left is not a correct list then?
Wait, no.
It's a different list. What I could do is, this was what we had when we created the list. And this is what we showed what we had and why we needed to do the removal. So what I did was I created this list with teachers' names, and then with Brandon, we put what they had. And then Brandon and I went through what they had and put the X's in, determining who needed them this year, next year, and the following year.
So FY19, they have not received the new ones yet?
They have, yes. That was what we used
They
that.
have.
Yeah,
They have.
yeah.
So that
Column
map
one
here
is
isn't
done.
correct then on the right then, that's wrong.
Column 1 is done,
Column one is
but they've
done.
I'm not seeing it.
the column on the right is what they originally had to begin with.
And, yeah, what I asked him for is what were they replaced with? So,
So I can go across and cross all of those out? Because
This
they
is
got
the
no,
justification for replacing.
right.
so they were,
And then what I want to be able to do
so
is
you've already,
like,
so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 have gotten brand new computers already.
Yes.
That was my question.
Mhm.
That's what I was trying to get answered.
And then most of them are the Lenovo's. Lenovo's Mac.
Well, I heard
Yeah.
Okay.
they're the best. And you told me the Macs are going away.
Right.
That we're gonna
So
see no
anybody who
more
had a
Mac.
Mac like K1, Ms. Anderson, she has now a Lenovo laptop.
So on FY20, are they in the budget or we,
No, those are still, once again, I put them in the budget, I proposed it, but we're taking that out of the tech fund.
so that's the one we got to really push.
yes.
Right.
And that's why I wanted all of this information, which is
Yeah.
really
Well,
great. so
I agree
thank you.
there, yeah.
So we pulled it out of the budget. We did it last year too. We had it in the budget, and then we pulled it out and took it out of the trust fund, and this year we did the same thing. Well, for next year's budget. That was a year ahead.
Some year,
Yep,
a year.
some year, next
So
year.
we're gonna have to do the same thing for FY21.
Mm-hmm.
Put them in the budget, or in the budget, or hope we get the money for the technical.
Yep,
Okay.
I'll propose them early, and then what I'll do is, I'll create a different list for you so that, I'll put another column to show you what they were replaced with.
Thank you.
All right.
'Cause
Anybody else have any questions for him? Or anybody?
Any other questions?
Just something to say. Middle school boys lost by 11.
Oh.
Single elimination for playoffs. But they made it to the playoffs. That's
Yes.
what they did.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's awesome.
Yes.
They did a good job, so,
Good job.
Tournament coming up.
good.
Is that
Okay.
with Farmington?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, speaking of shout-outs,
Does
can
it
I give a
turn
shout-out
coming
to
up?
our robotics team who went to Oyster River? Our
Yes.
robotics
Come up front up here and tell them
Our
what
robotics team
happened.
who went to Oyster
Over
River
here.
this past weekend.
Right in the middle of
So
that.
that-
Brandon, block me out. Block me
I
out.
gotta do this right. 'cause last time-
You go ahead.
They went to Oyster River. If you want information, it's right on our website. Look at the Twitter feed. It has a little video and it has pictures of the kids. It's called Vex IQ. Vex IQ at Oyster River Middle School this past weekend. They did a great job.
Nice.
It's exciting.
Leave the numbers.
Okay, so can I go to Jan now?
Laura will like that.
Oh, gee.
Uh-oh, more
I
handouts.
apologize for not getting this in your packet, but my short visit to my parents became a long visit to my parents. Take one of each. Take one of each.
One.
Take one and pass them down.
Right? One, not all of them, one.
Yeah,
You have to take the packet when it's in there. First, I wanted to give you an update on our early grads. The semester ended yesterday, so they have all completed the work they need. The first person there actually completed all of his work January 4th, and the following week was already down at the college that he's going to in Florida. Second student, she finished all her work as of yesterday. She's currently working 2 jobs. She has been accepted to Plymouth State. She's thinking either in the vet field or some other health field. The third student is working 1 job right now, saving money, and her plan is to go to Great Bay Community College. They will all three be back with us in June for marching practice, and then we'll graduate with the class.
I have a question for you. Now, so they've already left.
Yep, the first one finished early January, the other two finished yesterday at the end of the semester.
So if they're valedictorians, there'll be no issue. They can still be valedictorians.
Correct. So whatever their grades were for the end of the semester, that's how the GPA will be calculated to see whether they.
Because a mother that was concerned because their child's name is on this list, if that was still possible. And I said,
Yep, if that person has the highest GPA, yes.
okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's it for one, so if there's any other questions on that one? All right, second one, the next page I put in our enrollment, which is interesting, we have 277 students now too.
We gotta play that number.
I know. So, and it's broke down, it's the males and females for each grade. If you'll notice our sixth grade class right now is the largest class. And we've actually, having 24 sixth graders in a class was not necessarily conducive, so we have split them into three groups, providing some other support in different ways, so that just to kind of get that group number down. We're looking to do that in 7th grade again next year. But that's where our numbers are at right now. Remember, 9th grade, that's not true first year freshman, that's anyone who didn't earn enough credits to move on to be a sophomore.
277, oh my gosh.
Any questions on enrollment?
I think both these sets of figures should be made available on the 9th. Okay, anybody else? Let Jan keep going.
Okay. Next one is the middle school NWA data, so comparing their fall to their winter scores. Now at the top of each one I put, those are the cut scores, the average cut scores that they're looking for us to be at, and then what our average cut score is. So we start with reading. You'll notice that in the fall we were right on track with the grade level cut score. The winter test, they didn't make the growth they should have made so far this year. They didn't lose a whole lot, which is good, but they didn't show the growth. Grade 7 did show some growth, still just a little bit behind, but some growth. And then the same for grade 8 reading. They're actually above where they should be at this point of the year. So they were just a little behind in the fall, and now they're getting ahead. So even though, if you notice for the fall, it said that we had 14% at the highest range, and now we only have 8% at the highest range. We still, if you notice in the high average, we had 18% in the fall, and we have 32% there now. Any questions on reading?
Are you going to see any need in the future to change books?
For reading, they don't really have a textbook. They're using different novels. They don't have what I would call a literature book.
But I noticed when John brought his program in, I think initially when you presented it was when it ended up to the 7th grade.
That's for the math.
Yeah, but then I realized I think later it changed. And is it still including up to the 7th grade? That math program?
No, it's just through 5th grade.
Just 5th grade now. Now,
That was Redbird, right? Redbird was going up to 7th grade.
yeah, is that something we should be thinking of doing?
I didn't think that, well, I didn't think it was
No, 7th grade
Maybe
somewhere.
that was, it was that, I think the original presentation we said was 7,
Yeah, you did, yeah.
but now it's 6. That was for math.
The final one was just.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Anything else on reading? In terms of math, yes, we will need, in the future, we're gonna need some, new math texts. Our online resources go through next year.
So you should say, hope the people at home heard that.
Yes. They're paid for through next year. We're gonna need, do stuff for that. For math, you see in sixth grade, again, they have made some growth through the year. Seventh grade fell flat from fall to winter, and eighth grade also showed some growth.
Yeah.
One thing we were really looking at here, because she's been using Alex in seventh and eighth grade, so we were trying to see how the effect of it. So right now, I would say I'm not giving it gold stars for effectiveness, but we'll see how it does at the end of the year testing. Any questions on the end of the year reports? Oh, you look like you had one on.
The math score is just not very much to say.
Jan, these are all the students.
All 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students.
Okay, a special ed.
Every single
Okay,
student.
all right.
Then I did an athletic update. So if you notice on our middle school team, it was primarily 6th graders, and they were playing against 7th and 8th graders. They've shown a lot of growth this year. They'll be able to compete in a 7th to 8th grade tournament as well as just a 6th grade tournament. So in the beginning of March, they'll be actually playing against only other 6th graders. So I think that will be exciting for them. Middle school boys all had the update there, but as well, starting next month, there will be a 7th to 8th grade tournament in Farmington. High school boys have a rescheduled game tonight, and then their last game is Friday night for their season. And spring baseball and softball, we're gonna start signups for next week. So, get the paperwork in for that. Then the final thing, I don't know if you guys have probably been hearing a lot around the state and around the country on social emotional learning and work study practices. Part of the Every Student Succeeds Act includes, they call this other way to to assess student progress, which includes social emotional learning. We were able to get Plymouth State, a person in charge of the counseling department there, it's a health resources, I can't remember what the SA stands for now, grant that pays for DESA surveys, and I included the single sheet as kind of the scales, but we're gonna sign the entire school up for it. It'll pay for it for this year as well as 2 more years. The teachers can fill out an 8-question survey, and then if a student comes up red in an area, there's a more in-depth survey that they can fill out. But it will show for a student, for a class, for a grade level, and for the whole school, where there might be weaknesses or strengths in these different areas. And then they have lessons that align to each of those areas. So they have lessons on empathy, they have lessons on self-responsibility. We're looking at those lessons happening in the advisory time, and by grade level, them having the same lessons and the same conversations with students. So right now we're getting the students put in because they're put in without a name, so that only us will have a code, we'll know who they are. And then we'll be able to start implementing some of the lessons. If it goes well, I'm going to talk to John because she is willing then to include K through 12 as part of her grant, and they would cover it for 2 more years. So we're going to kind of pilot it and see how does it work on students.
Now, would this be cognitive? Just deal with cognitive issues?
Not really, but.
You could call it cognitive, but almost everybody's calling it social emotional now. You'll see work study practices for some social emotional. There are some schools that give students 2 grades on the report card. How did they do academically, and then how did they do on their work study practices effort.
Thank you.
So it's more that other side.
Yeah, where do we stand with the photography?
Unfortunately, we paid for it through the DHHS grant last year, and that grant was cut in half this year. The majority of it is being used to help pay for the social worker. So right now it looks like there's only $14,000 left, and the majority of that is going to be used for our after-school program. So I don't know that we're going I have someone who's willing to do it, I just don't have a stipend. So we're looking, right now, we're planning for the transportation and the salary for people in the after-school program. If there's gonna be enough left, then we'll offer her the stipend for that same time period.
Out of the grant?
Of the grant, and again, next year, the grant will be $0. That's why I don't know that we'll have a social worker next year.
Is there anything else? So- Now, I did tell the board I'd give you a copy of that fourth diploma that we got coming down the road.
Yep, I haven't had a chance to look at it.
I understand that, yeah. Okay. Thank you. Moving on to school business. Policy for the first reading. BCB, board member conflict of interest. Did everybody get the opportunity to read it? Do I have any changes or suggestions, or
Looks good.
is that a motion?
Oh, what do we, by John?
First reading.
First reading, so I just make a motion to accept it for first reading?
Send it to second.
Send it to second, thank you.
Do I have a second? Paul? Any other discussion? Melissa?
Aye.
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 Okay, goes on, okay. Okay, GCG, part-time and substitute professional staff employment. Did everybody read this one? I have a concern about one paragraph in there.
Well, I have a question, so.
Go ask your question first.
Well, do we have to
Make a motion?
make a motion?
I'll make
to-
a motion.
Okay, and I'll second it.
What's your question, Peg?
My question was, since we have now agreed to a permanent sub, that was your question too? Oh gosh, great minds just think alike. Should that be added into here?
Because that sets the pay. We didn't, is that what we started that individual at?
No, no,
We did it higher.
yeah. But I think it should be in there. Jan,
Need
that
your
person is
report.
still here?
Oh, yes,
Good. Working out?
oh, yes.
Good.
We had a teacher out for 5 days. We were able to use the same person every day. I have a teacher right now out for 6 days, using him every single day.
Works well.
Do we want to remove that sentence?
Which sentence?
The last paragraph, the substitute pay.
Oh, no, I was thinking about,
Oh,
no,
which one?
this one here, when you bring substitute you for long-term. I'm sorry, that's great.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
thinking alike.
We kind of sort of think alike.
Because did we bring that person in for long substitute, what did we set the pay at?
120. What, was it 115 or? Okay.
Does that come out the same as a,
The long-term sub, he was making 180. The daily sub makes 75.
so that should apply and wouldn't be an issue then? We can go back to yours then.
Do we want to add anything into this as far as the district hiring a permanent sub? And that would totally be up to the board.
I think it makes sense that we hire one at the beginning of every year because the consistency of having, like she
Yeah,
said, one
yeah.
teacher for 5 days, one teacher for 6 days. They know all the
Yep.
the students in the building, so I think it's our best practice if we have at least one full-time,
Yeah.
in the district. Whether they're running from the high school, if we have to send them over, wherever we need them,
Yep.
we have that
MES,
person.
yep.
So,
Send it back to get that updated.
yeah, then I withdraw my motion, and you want to draw yours, Peg? Because then we want to make it, and you want to add make a motion to,
Well, all right, let me ask also a question. If we have a permanent sub, but then we know that, Joe is gonna be out for the rest of the school year, are we going to take that permanent sub and put that person in that position, or hire somebody to do that and keep Bob, the permanent sub, working
don't take it up.
on a daily basis?
I think it depends on the content area.
I was just gonna say
So
that.
if it's a math teacher, I would want to at least post
For math, and that's what I'm saying, is that I don't want to take out any of the language for a long term, because it might, as you say, I mean, I don't want a kindergarten teacher teaching algebra.
Yeah. No, I like the idea.
If we couldn't find one, then, yes.
Then,
Would that person have to be certified for that?
Depends on the length of the substitution.
But it says, well, I'm going up to that one at the top there.
yeah, for which they are certified.
Certified for.
Right.
The person we hired for that position was certified then.
Yes,
Yeah, so I think,
But what certification? Maybe not math or
right,
science or,
right. So if you're gonna have a substitute for more than half the year, they need to be certified in the content area that
Right.
they are teaching.
So that's the language, we should add in the language that we have to find someone that's certified in that particular area for.
but that's exactly what this says. Leave of absence in a position for which they are certified. So if it's an 8th grade math position, they need to be math certified secondary. But I think we just at least need to add in the line about a permanent sub. And also put that down. Down underneath the substitute pay.
Earl,
Yeah.
Got an input?
I would say.
So the school district should,
I think, right, Jen?
I didn't hear the last question.
That
Oh, what I'm-
Peg
okay.
was just saying, I think makes a lot of sense.
I think,
Oh, putting the permanent
Yeah.
sub pay under substitute pay.
right, right.
So we'll just send that back. Right?
Yeah.
so what's your motion want to be?
Okay, my motion will be to add underneath,
You want to write that on that slip and
sure,
someone will drop it off to Kathy to
Sure.
rewrite. We'll have to send it back for first reading
okay.
again.
motion to add language to,
To include a permanent substitute at the rate of, I can write it better if I have a moment.
Yeah,
Would you just put the rate of pay for substitutes will be $70 per day for non-certified teachers, $75 per day for certified teacher, and $115 per day for a permanent sub.
Okay.
Sounds
It's
good.
easy.
that was too easy.
You are too easy.
115
I like it.
for permanent sub.
Okay, and then just keep that last sentence.
Looks good.
Yep.
No,
That should work well.
would that be contrary to the last sentence? I'm just,
Well, that's what
Because
she
he's
said,
not
add,
subbing in the same classroom for 10 days.
Right, so just this,
okay, all right.
and permanent sub at a rate of $115 a day.
Is that your motion?
Yes.
And I'll second that motion.
It's actually Jan's motion, but that's okay.
Just help him with the wording.
Okay, that'd be the amendment. We made a
Right.
motion to approve it. Okay, do you have any more discussion on the amendment?
No?
Melissa?
aye.
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 Then now I'm gonna take my motion and say that we send it back to be rewritten and sent back to the board for first reading. I'll change my motion.
Second.
Okay. Any question on anybody? Paul?
Aye.
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 So it'll go back to be rewritten to include that. Now, you want to drop that off, or you want someone else to drop it off?
Well, where was the other one? I don't mind dropping it off tomorrow.
The other one with a P in it?
Yes, the one with the capital P.
Well, where did, I think,
the principal.
principal, did you hand it to me, and I think I,
She gave it to you, gave it back to me.
Why'd you get, I'll take it down to Kathy.
Oh. Well, yeah, because I think he gave it to me because I wasn't here and,
oh, I showed it to her. My fault.
Okay.
oh, I can't find it.
Well, we can,
All right, well, you know
Didn't I
what?
give you it?
you better get, we'll straighten it out,
Yeah.
don't leave right off, please. Okay, moving on to, I'm sure I lost my place. IHCD, Advanced Coursework and Advanced Placement Courses. All right. It's, I think that's a first reading also on this one. I make a motion that we pass it. Does anybody have a second?
So, go ahead, go ahead.
I'll second it for discussion.
Go ahead.
The second paragraph down, it says the district will not be responsible for any tuition, fees, or other associated costs incurred for enrollment in such courses. And then blah, 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 blah. But then down below, the superintendent, I missed that. Superintendent needs to be capitalized. Earl, I'm trying to take care of you here. Number 8, establish regulations for the program which, and all of them are great until you get down to number 8. And what is revenue and expenditure reporting if we're not responsible for any tuition and expenses?
I don't know.
Earl, do you know?
I think that we have to just report what we get in beyond whatever fees are paid.
I
Or
believe the
what,
state will reimburse us some money.
and the state will reimburse us for it.
But it says that
How do we get reimbursed?
district will not be responsible for any tuition, fees, or other associated costs incurred by the student for enrollment in such courses. And that's my question is, here we're saying you have to pay for it if you're going to take it, but then down below, it's talking about revenue and expenditure reporting and blah, 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 blah.
Isn't
Which
that-
doesn't, I mean, it's,
So one of the other has to.
We have to have this policy in place in order for the state to give us money. So if the
There's a
state gives us the
dual
money,
enroll-
we'll pay for the kids, but if the state doesn't give us money, we're saying we're not, if the state doesn't give us money, you have to pay for it. But if the state will give us money, we'll cover it.
Yeah, that's why the New Hampshire attorneys, the board attorneys did it in the dual enroll.
yeah, it's
contradictory.
It is
You might
totally
want to
contradictory.
explain the dual enroll.
We don't
Dual
offer
enrollment
any
is when
advanced
you can get
classes.
both college and high school.
Right, and that's not this one.
Well, this would do it, advanced.
Well, I thought there was another, there's another one that's further down that is the advanced, or, yeah, the dual.
Yes, but this one you will also, I do believe it's also dual enrollment here.
Yeah, the district
May
again will not be
participate in the
responsible.
dual and concurrent enrollment plan, it's the third paragraph down.
So we do not offer any advanced placement classes
That's not true.
unless they're willing to pay for it.
No.
No, if they're in the school, they're
Yeah,
free.
we offer them in school.
Right.
This year
Okay.
we did not because our enrollment was too small.
But if they wanted to go to, say Dover was offering a particular advanced placement, they have to pay tuition for that one class in Dover.
Plus-
And that's what my question is. It's saying we're not responsible, but then it's saying, and then Jan is saying, the state will reimburse us. So would the state reimburse the parent?
I think we'd know ahead of time. You know what I mean? We would know if the state was gonna give us money. So
Oh,
we
okay,
could-
all right,
And the state would
Yeah.
reimburse us.
okay. What about the AP test?
They have to pay for the repeats.
Okay, anyway, no matter, all right,
Yeah.
okay. So I guess my only questions here, thank you, Jan, I'm glad you were here. I will take this one also
So the only correction.
to capitalize superintendent, my old capitalization, I'm sorry.
I saw two of them in this third paragraph.
Pardon?
There were two of them in the third paragraph.
Yep.
Thank you.
You found them?
Yeah, but then number 8, security should not be capitalized.
Thank you.
Oh, I just circled expenditure, okay.
Oh, that's all right.
All right, I will drop
Okay.
this off with Kathy.
Okay, Melissa?
Aye.
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 Did you realize that page 12 is the same as page 16. Did anybody realize that?
I think Peg did inadvertently.
Oh, I wrote down at the bottom, same as page 12.
Oh, good job.
Showing that, yes, I did actually read these.
Page 12. Okay, I just want to
So we
save
don't
us
need
some
that
time.
one.
We don't need that one. I'll cancel that one. There's a number on there, though. Maybe she gave us the wrong one. Yeah, there's one missing, I think. The next one is MBA, IMBA, which is online vertical education. Virtual, I'm sorry, vertical. I'm not with it today. Okay.
Well, vertical, you know.
Okay, I need a motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay. Do we have any corrections on that one? Do you want to send it forward?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Paul?
Aye.
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 Goes forward for second reading. Okay. Going on to IMBC, alternative credit options.
I will make a motion to send this one forward for
Do we
second
have a
reading.
Second.
Second.
Paul again? All right, the two Ps. Have any corrections?
Just a question. On the back page, funding again. Students or their parents, guardians responsible for all related expenses, including tuition and textbooks. District may pay the fee for expelled students who are permitted to take courses in alternative settings. Blah, blah, blah.
So what's the question?
So I always thought that, was it BLAC, or is there something different now?
VLAX is online, they do that in school, they can do it at home. We do put some money in the budget each year to try to pay for some Great Bay college courses.
Okay, but I mean, the BLAC online is free. That's what I thought, so this really is,
VLAX is free, Play-Doh is free. It's
Okay.
really just, if they wanted to go to Dover for a class,
Cover it.
I think they
Cover
paid
your
for
butt.
one student to
Okay.
take half
All
class
right.
last year.
Okay.
And the students.
thank you, I just wanted to verify that it was free, BLAC.
VLAX is free for any student in New Hampshire.
Melissa? We all set, no corrections?
Yep.
That'll be going for the second reading?
Yes.
Yeah, aye.
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 Okay. Now, a little confusion on that last one. It is written a little different than, it says IMBC than LEB.
I wonder if
The one you
IHC
questioned
is
before.
replacing the IMB.
I don't know.
No, there was an actual class, you know what, I think it's not here.
Out here.
I think we got the second one twice.
Yeah. Can you, wanna check on that one?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll
Yeah,
have to
because
go back
there
to
is an
that.
advanced college.
We'll have to go back to that
Yeah.
one next
Check,
time.
you wanna check
Right.
it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And there's
Yeah,
a
that's
dual,
not right.
that was the dual credit, right,
I will.
Jan?
I don't remember IMBC off the top of my head.
Oh, come on.
Well, what's interesting, I think it's a typo because IMBC is alternative credit options, the one right before it. So, the other one
Well,
is
you know what?
IHCD.
Okay, IHCD.
I think you just
But
gotta put
they've
on-
got LEB on all of these too, so it's kind of like something and then slash
Right, 'cause the other
LEB.
one, page 12, is also slash LEB.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Turn around.
Okay, we're just gonna ignore this one.
No. What is that?
Kathy can look for advanced class placement. and see if
You can
it's
ask her.
different.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
Said it's the same
Yeah, there you go.
there.
Okay.
Okay, moving on.
That makes sense.
The bus sale.
I'll make a motion to accept bid two.
Duh.
What's the amount?
The $3,011.
Which
that
is
was
what
a
we
good
talked about being a
call.
much better.
Yeah.
That was a good call.
Yeah.
Who called that one anyway?
Laura.
Oh, Laura.
All in
Those are
Melissa
Laura.
Over
and
here.
Laura.
Paul and Laura.
Because a lot of times you'll see these buses being turned into
Campers.
campers and tiny houses, and
Yeah.
when we looked online that night, so that's a much better bid.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
good.
It could be a dead van.
Definitely got our money's worth. 310,000 miles on this bus.
Whoa.
Yes.
Do you have a second on that?
That's a good. That's a lot of rolling around
Paul
there.
made the motion to accept that bid.
I'll
No, I
second it.
didn't.
Oh, Paul made the motion, I seconded it.
Okay.
A lot of miles around this. Little
Works for me.
Okay, all right.
If we have a higher bid, do we go back to the other people and say, yo, we got another?
No.
No, we just
Okay,
accept the
just-
bid from
okay.
them. They just don't hear back again.
Okay.
That would be an auction.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we had somebody else who came in and offered us
It's a good idea to
$50
make
million.
Make more money.
Well, a couple of these people bid on every single one. It's the same number every single time. Bid one.
Oh,
The
really?
exact same number
Yeah.
every
Okay.
single
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Melissa?
Aye.
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 So it's all right. We'll have to let
I
Tim.
don't like when you two sit together, because when I just put initials, I got P and P, and I'm like, dang, I gotta write Peg or I gotta write Paul. You guys gotta split up. It's easier when I do it split up. I'm just saying.
It
Any-
sounds like an inn.
We have to break up.
No,
I'm
we're not breaking it.
sorry.
Too bad. Should write PM or PG.
Just
Peg
put
girl,
PE
peg
for
man.
Peg. PA for
Paul man,
Paul.
peg girl.
Okay, on the old business,
Nope.
moving on. Committee and board member reports.
I had a wonderful meeting today. I guess maybe would that be part of committee with administration, because I'm going to be talking at the deliberative session about the technology warrant article. So I had all sorts of questions and they're getting the answers back. And I was told that that was what they had discussed last week, so. And then, you know what, was I supposed to pick up those minutes, Jan?
They're on my desk. That's your problem. I'm sorry. I'll get them to you.
Or you can just email them to
I
me.
have to get the chart for you anyway.
Okay. It just dawned on me, look, oh yeah, that's
As we're
right.
going through, I'm like, yep, they're sitting right there on my desk.
So anyway, it was very interesting. So, looking forward to doing that.
Anybody else?
I went to the delegates assembly on Saturday. Learned a couple things. A couple of districts presented some things they've been doing. And some innovative things they were talking about. I gave Doug a copy of the book that went through. So
Anybody that wants to read it is welcome to read it.
and I went through all the elections and stuff. It went just as we all voted for. So perfect.
Is that different from what was presented to us that we voted on?
Same exact things right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
everything in green is exactly what we read. Yep. So
Where
set.
did this come from?
I
Just-
Wow.
You wasn't
Just
listening.
right here.
Paul, tell her again, please.
Well, I saw it over
well,
there.
Doug likes it for
I'll get, well, you can read it.
Posterity.
armchair reading. Yeah.
I know.
There.
Thank you, sir.
Read it if you like.
Okay.
Give you something to do. I know you're not busy.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Speed reading.
anybody else? Committee and board member reports?
No.
Public comments? Not at all.
Still having fun coming to these?
My public comment is the same that I've been saying to everybody. People who want to come out with negative comments and complaints are more than welcome to come to any of these board meetings, which we invite all the time, and get involved. If you don't like something in town, get involved, because that's the only way you're gonna make a change.
Public announcement.
I don't know if we can.
What's that?
Laura knows what
Can
it
we
is.
announce Saturdays?
Let's see, why not? I don't. Can't run fire the chair.
It's a public.
They're in public.
Okay, the public announcement, Saturday, we are having the benefit for the Noseworthy family over at Newt. We have some incredible auction and raffles donations. We've got some incredible food donations, one of them by Potter's Bakery down in Rochester. Of course, when I went in, I wanted to eat a little bit of everything. So I'm hoping a lot of people will show up and show their support. Childcare is $5 a child and $2 for siblings, and that includes pizza, games, and drinks.
Excellent.
Okay.
You going?
Can
I
I,
bought tickets, but.
you want to talk to Earl outside just for a second?
You want to adjourn?
I'll make a
We
motion
gotta-
to a 5-minute recess.
Oh,
Okay.
Is that a
okay.
second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
5-minute recess?
5-minute recess.
Okay. And then we're going to non-public, right?
Well, we don't know yet.
Motion
What?
to go.
Is that what's next?
So we're
That's what's on
taking
the
back Jen
agenda.
on
Well, he's gonna add
delay them all
something.
because of,
Cool, now, I look at it, at 7 o'clock it's -2, and at 9 o'clock it's +1. I'm not sure waiting 2 hours makes a whole lot of difference.
I know.
What?
But they're
Temperatures
saying,
tomorrow. At
because
7
there's,
o'clock it's -2 degrees, at 9 o'clock it's 1 degree, so delaying
getting the-
school 2 hours really isn't gonna make any difference, so.
True.
Has anybody
Motion for
seen,
5 minutes.
I don't even know where I got it, just showed up on Facebook about the superintendents.
The singing,
Oh,
you know, if
am-
they get canceled.
That was
I'm
me.
going to
I
make
sent
my
it
call,
to
and then
to
I was going
Earl.
do that. But we
I
didn't
said,
do
Earl,
it.
you should do this.
that was hysterical, the superintendents
That's
singing
what
yeah, yeah,
about
yeah.
the snow
And I
day.
wrote back about that other
I know.
thing.
He says, I know, that was funny.
It's cold
That was a quick
outside.
5 minutes.
He said, should I
Baby, it's
sing,
cold
baby,
outside."
it's cold
Yeah.
outside?
Oh,
Should think about that for the next day, right?
actually, I tried that Saturday
What's that?
when we go back on.
What are we doing?
what are we doing?
We want to come out? We come out and go
Oh.
back into,
What are we doing?
Can we, a motion to come out of recess?
yeah, go ahead.
Make a motion to come out of recess?
Second.
Oh, he seconded.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, there's no non-public tonight.
Oh,
Oh, I was gonna ask you, I didn't get a chance to talk to you in the hallway.
Who?
Happy to talk about that now that we have the data.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
we can have a brief.
Yeah.
a brief-
I'm brief non-public.
For 5-minute
My
recess.
question is-
Motion to
Or can
come
wait till next
out.
month.
Oh, we
No, we can-
yeah, we can
We
wait.
can do it, I mean, it's still early, look at
Oh,
this.
that's good. Don't push it.
We
Oh,
can wait.
never
You have
mind.
1,000 questions already put us a half an hour late.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
next
people,
month.
go.
What, we'll say it again?
Next month is fine.
Okay.
Now, my point is,
There was one intent to hire.
yes, I knew it was,
At
but that, the
7.
2-hour delays.
10.
As
Yeah.
a parent,
Okay, got it all set.
becomes very difficult when you have a 2-hour delay. Not just for me who travels an hour and a half one way, but a lot of parents who have to go to work. So, like Jan was saying, if at 7 o'clock it's -2 degrees and at 9 o'clock it's 1 degree, do we really need that delay? Just my 2 cents, but it does cause a lot of problems for a lot of families.
If the temperature's not gonna change much, then no. You know, I can see it for road weather and things like that, road problems, yes. I mean, at 6 o'clock, the roads are still a mess. By 8:30, they're all pretty much cleaned up and salted. Then I'd see the reason, but if the temperature is not gonna move,
Right, it's more, what are we doing with our walkers?
Yeah, I have to say,
Yes,
I subbed, there was a 2-hour delay last Thursday, and I subbed in Rochester. They did not have a delay. And I walked through the snowbank to get from my house to the garage because my whole walkway was one great big sheet of ice. I mean, I'm hanging on to the garage, trying to get in the door to make sure I did not fall. So,
Did
yeah,
the 2
and it
hours-
was like Milton North.
But did the 2 hours make a big difference?
I don't know about here. I mean, in Rochester it was fine.
that's for
That's
snow
all I
though,
can
right?
say.
That was for the snow?
Well, because it was so cold and it had rained the night before, and so it was really, really icy here. But in Rochester, it was not bad. So there's this dividing line, and it really was treacherous for me to get into my car.
Well, I guess
That's fine.
I think the best thing to say is I think it's a case-by-case basis. I mean, look at the reports from 4 or 5 different weather sources, and if they're all
Yep.
saying the temperature's not gonna move but 2 degrees from 7 to 9, then there's no point.
Yeah.
Because if the buses are gonna have a problem in 0 degrees, they're gonna have a problem in 1 degree. So I don't think we should just throw up the 2-hour flag every time we,
I think it's
You know,
the
without-
roads.
Them longer to jumpstart the buses if they need to, to get them running, but.
yeah.
And I understand that. I'm just saying for a lot of parents we've had a lot of them, and trying to get that morning daycare and having to call in could cause parents to lose their jobs. You know,
There was something the other day on Facebook. There was a delay and somebody, I don't know who it was, just posted, can somebody pick up my kids, or is there some place, and somebody else offered to pick up the kids for a delay, which I thought was really quite nice, so
yes, it is, except if you don't know those people.
Yeah, that was
I
my
don't care.
question.
Pick them up.
Okay.
Okay.
So something to think about, Earl.
No, one more question.
Oh, one more
Oh.
question.
How's our sign-ups doing? Because isn't this Friday the last day?
For what?
Candidates.
We don't open sessions, right?
What's that?
I can't see that yet, can I?
Are we in open session?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I just wanted.
My open session is 3 to 5 on Friday. I'll be here if anybody wants to sign up for school board.
Well,
Oh, that. I'm
so
like,
but how many,
I can't tell you.
Yeah, you can't yet.
I can't tell you.
oh, you can't tell me?
No, I can't tell in public, no. I can't.
353 people signed
Oh,
up,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
Already,
All for one.
somebody's already told me.
Okay, are we done with public
me.
session then?
No, need to adjourn.
Not me.
No, it wasn't.
So Jan, we're not gonna discuss with you? We're not gonna go into public?
No, I thought we were waiting till next month.
Yeah, we're gonna wait till.
I thought John.
Okay, it's not a pressing issue?
I thought John said there
No,
was.
it's not gonna, no.
Now, what about we didn't have a job
Oh,
app.
wait a minute, there
Yeah,
is.
there was one intent to hire.
We didn't have, get it.
No, I'll wait till next month too.
Wait. Was there an issue about paying for the tournaments for the basketball? That had to be approved?
Not that I know
Okay,
that I know.
I thought it had to be approved,
of.
okay.
No, we put it into, yeah. it's-
Okay, just wanna make sure that they can still go.
I didn't know any.
I was just gonna say, I can
It was
say
gonna
that,
overspend the dues line by $50. I believe is what was gonna happen, so we were gonna take it out of umps and reps.
I can say that if anyone would like to sign up for the school board, for the moderator, for school clerk, for 2 school board positions and a treasurer, you can go to the SAU office between, I believe it's 8 and 4. And on Friday, I will be here. You can still do the school board SAU office from 8 to 4 on Friday, but I'll be here 3 to 5.
Okey-dokey.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Yes,
Aye.
sir. Aye,
Aye.
aye, we adjourn. Thank you.